Hello, Sabbath School family. This is Monday, March 31st, and our lesson for today is entitled Mosaic Law Civic. The memory verse is found in Romans chapter 2, verse 14. For when Gentiles who do not have the law do instinctively the things of the law, these not having the law are a law to themselves. In the time of Christ, Rome ruled the land, but they allowed occupied territory the authority to govern themselves on issues concerning their local customs and religion. In Jerusalem, the governing body was referred to as the Sanhedrin. The Sanhedrin used the Mosaic Law found in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy to govern civic matters. The Law of Moses, as they referred to, were actually given by God to Moses. In that time, God was establishing a theocracy on earth, which is a government ruled not by the people or by one man, but by one God. God will dwell among Israel and govern it as its king. Since the fall of Jerusalem, the people of God are no longer part of a theocracy on earth. In Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 2 through 6, we have an example of Mosaic law. The Bible says, "If a man or woman living among you in one of the towns that the Lord gives you is found doing evil in the eyes of the Lord your God in violation of his covenant and contrary to my commands, has worshipped other gods, bowing down to them or to the sun or the moon or the stars in the sky, and this has been brought to your attention, then you must investigate it thoroughly. If it is true and it has been proved that this detestable thing has been done in Israel, take the man or woman who has done this evil deed to your city gate and stone that person to death. On the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses, a person is to be put to death. But no one is to be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. The hands of the witnesses must be the first in putting that person to death, and then the hands of all the people. You must purge the evil from among you." Though we may feel these laws to be severe, there is an essence of fairness and justice that the Jews of Christ's day had lost sight of. How did Jesus interact with the law of Moses? In John chapter 8, verses 3 through 11, the Bible says, "The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, 'Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law of Moses, we were commanded to stone such a woman. Now what do you say?' They were using the question as a trap in order to have a basis for accusing him. But Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, 'Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her.' Again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. At this, those who heard began to go away one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left. With the woman still standing there, Jesus straightened up and asked her, 'Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?' 'No one, sir,' she said. 'Then neither do I condemn you.' Jesus declared, 'Go now and leave your life of sin.'" Here it may seem that Jesus was acting in contrary to the law of Moses and not participating in her execution. But in not participating, he was actually fulfilling the law of Moses. Without 2 or 3 witnesses, the law could not condemn anyone. This is why Jesus asked the woman, where were those that condemned her? Without the witnesses, she was free to go. But Christ admonished her to stop her sinful ways. Christ is the author of the law of Moses, and though they can be hard to understand, we may know that the foundation of his law is justice and love. In the same way, today we may not understand every one of God's commands, but we can understand his heart. Jeremiah chapter 29, verses 11 through 13 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all of your heart." Let us live out God's plan for our lives every day and in every way. May God bless you and keep you in his grace. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you tomorrow.